Do I start off nearly every video with a stupid hand dance? Dunno. Hello, everyone. Today we're gonna ultimate book tag. Because books are ultimate. So I have my questions on this thing that will make my face glow. And let's just get started. I have not read the questions in advance. I'm not sure how many there are. But I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go and do it and have fun and be awesome. Let's go. Do you get sick while reading in the car? No, I don't get sick while reading in the car. I very rarely get to read in the car nowadays because I'm mainly the one driving. But if I wasn't, then no, I would have a great time reading in the car. Which author's style is completely unique to you, and why? I think Rick Yancey's, is that how you pronounce his second name? I think his writing style is really unique because if you've ever read The Fifth Wave, the way he writes his characters, there's just something like, I don't know, just his writing style is really different in terms of like, I'm really bad at explaining it, but read it and you'll understand what I mean. Harry Potter series or Twilight Saga? Give 3 points to defend your answer. I'm gonna pick the Harry Potter series for 3 reasons. 1, it's better written. 2, the plotline is far better. And 3, and most importantly, it doesn't glorify abusive relationships. Do you smell your books? I think you'd be lying if you said you never smelled your books. Books with or without little illustrations? I haven't read a book in a long time that had illustrations, so either or, it doesn't matter. What book did you love while reading but discovered later it wasn't quality writing? Twilight. That's not quality anything. Do you have any funny stories involving books from your childhood? I wouldn't actually consider them funny, but I do have 2 stories for you. When I was young, my parents really thought that reading was super important for your mind and just for fun. So before I went to school, we go to school here about 4, my parents wanted me to get a head start in reading, and I still have the book that they taught me to read from. This is it, and I am 24 years old, so this book is probably maybe 21 years old, which I thought was kind of cool, and it's still in pretty good nick. And then the second story I have for you is, there's an author from Ireland, her name is Cora Harrison, and she writes children's books based on like myths of Ireland, or some of them might be real actually, but they're like, this one is called Nuala and Her Secret Wolf, and I loved Cora Harrison. She was my jam when I was maybe 9 or 10, and one day our school had a book fair and I bought a crap ton of her books, and the lady at the checkout said to me, "Oh, do you like Cora Harrison?" And I said, "Yeah." And she told me, coincidentally, that Cora Harrison herself was actually coming to the school that day to speak to the older kids, and that if I wanted, she could try make it so that I could meet Cora. And I did, and she signed my book for me, which I thought was pretty epic. So thanks, Cora. I'm old now and still remember that. Much appreciated. What is the thinnest book you have on your shelf? The thinnest book I have on my shelf is The Illustrated Guide to Free Hugs by Juan Mann, which my friend Harker gave to me on my 24th birthday because we always wanted to do the free hugs thing in Dublin City. What is the thickest book you have on your shelf? From what I can see clearly, the thickest book I have is Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Do you write as well as read, and do you see yourself in the future being an author? I actually do write. I had my first writings published when I was a kid, and my aspiration is to be a published novelist by the time I'm 26. 26? So I might be calling on you guys to beta test the YA novel I have going at the moment. Nervous! When did you get into reading? I've always been into reading. In our house, reading was a big thing. My parents read a lot, and they thought that teaching us to read good and stuff would make life not only easier but more enjoyable. So I learned to read probably a bit earlier than most people, and I think that was the best thing that they ever did for me. Thanks, Mom and Dad! In school, was your best subject language arts or English? I think English was my best class for a long time. I had quite a high aptitude for it, and I had a higher reading level than most kids. But then when I got to this exam year in Ireland, which is like a big thing, we were reading all these poets and like playwrights and novels, and I was being told what to think and how to feel about them, and I wasn't able to think about my own personal thoughts on them, so that really made me fall out of love with English. Up until that point, I had wanted to be an English teacher, and then I realized I couldn't sit in a classroom for the rest of my life and tell kids how they were supposed to think when they could be thinking for themselves. If you were given a book as a present that you had read before and hated, what would you do? Well, it was a present, so I'd say thank you very much and one day pass it on to someone else who I thought might like it. What is a lesser known series you know that is similar to Harry Potter or the Hunger Games? I'm gonna go for the Altered series by Jennifer Rush. What is a bad habit you always do besides rambling while blogging? Fidget. Hands down. What's your favorite word? Being 100% honest, my favorite word is fuck. But I also like onomatopoeia and discombobulated. And crack. The Irish version, not the drug version. Are you a nerd, dork, or dweeb? Or all of the above? I'll be whatever. Don't mind. Vampires or fairies? And why? Fairies, because when I was a kid I watched that movie about those little girls that allegedly found fairies in the bottom of their garden, and I used to sit out the back and pretend that I was drinking tea with fairies. Shapeshifters or angels? Angels, because at least then I know that my lamp is actually a lamp and not someone coming to murder me. Spirits or werewolves? Spirits? As long as they don't haunt me? Love triangle or forbidden love? I'm gonna say forbidden love, because love triangles kind of annoy me. A lot of the time, the girl always ends up with the first guy to come along, even if he's not the better choice. Authors, sort that crap out. And finally, full-on romance books or action-packed with a few love scenes mixed in? I think I prefer action-packed with a few love scenes mixed in. Just because it's more variety that way.